From the city that never sleeps, New York, a city built under bright lights and off the hustle and energy of 13 million of the hardest working people from around the world. This is Heavy Muscle TV. Now, let's go into the RX Muscle Studios and join your host, Dave Palumbo, and the RX Muscle crew.
Welcome to another exciting episode of the Heavy Muscle TV show. It is July 15th, 2015, and we are days away from the NPC Masters Teen Collegiate Nationals taking place in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the home of the NPC, and of course the USA Championships the following week. I'm sitting here with my co-host Sid Faruqi, who is still on Ramadan. No food for you today. No soup for you, like the soup Nazi. But you're hanging in there. Sid has got this whole thing planned out for when he actually can eat again. He'll be at Bros vs. Pros this week, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. And he already has all his foods and his drinks lined up. I'm going to have 40 cups of coffee. I'm going to have Chinese food. I'm going to have Indian, Pakistani food. I'm going to have Japanese food, Italian. What's the first thing you're going to eat when you can actually?
Well, I just wanted to say that Bros vs. Pros is going to be sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts because America runs on Dunkin'.
That's true.
So that's pretty much.
Is that your favorite coffee?
Yes.
Really?
Absolutely.
You're not a Starbucks guy?
I am not a Starbucks guy.
Are you like rebellious type of Starbucks guy? Like you won't do it because of the cost?
No. It's just the fact that it's Dunkin' Donuts and it's really good.
Either people like Dunkin' Donuts or they like Starbucks. You never see someone who says, "Well, I like both."
No, I just don't want to spend $4.50.
Oh, it is the money.
Exactly.
It is the money.
If I'm going to have caramel macchiato, I'm going to have caramel macchiato by Speed Nutrition.
There you go. That's
but I just wanted to say it is going to be fun. It's going to be great. Jay Cutler is going to be in the house, and
you're talking about Bros vs. Pros.
Yes,
24, which I can't believe, number one, we're up to 24 of them.
I don't know how you keep track of all the numbers.
You
know how many episodes of Heavy Muscle TV we've had. You know how many.
Hold on, Johnny. How many episodes? We're coming up on 100, aren't we?
Watch we're doing episode number 100.
We're at like 95. Yeah, we have 5 more.
Right,
That's going to be a big show. 100. I guarantee. I'm going to get a superstar on for 100.
All right. But no, it's going to be great. Jay Cutler is going to be there, and the gym, Unique Fitness Extreme.
Yes.
We haven't seen it yet, but from everything that we have heard so far from people who've been there, they say this place is absolutely immaculate.
Well, I have one of the owners here who's waiting in the wings, Chris Cope, who runs the martial arts there, and he's going to tell us a little bit about this gym, because this gym is bigger than 40,000 square feet. They have some of the most high-tech weights. They have more 100-pound plates than any other gym in the world. They have a ring for MMA fighting.
What did you say? It's
not
an octagon.
A pentagon or something like that they have?
Decagon?
Yeah.
Decagon. What is it? 10, right?
10, right. 10 sides.
There you go.
What's dodecagon?
Oh.
Dodecagon.
14. I don't know.
I think it's 12. But anyway, once again, Bros vs. Pros is my passion. I created this event because I love to watch guys in the gym who don't compete at all battle it out with the people who do. And I've always seen these guys for years bragging about, I could do this, I could do that. And you know what? I've been super impressed by guys in the gym that have done stuff that I can't do. So I said to myself, we got to come up with a way to get these guys some notoriety and get them some money for what they do. Because after all, they're training as hard as the pros are in the gym. So we're going to get some pro athletes and we're going to put them up against these regular gym bros. We're giving away over $2,000 in cash prizes for men, for women. We're going to have over 200-pound weight class, under 200-pound weight class. I know there's a lot of people out there trying to make that weight early tomorrow morning so that they can then, compete. I have my one of our, I guess you could say he's a regular, guy in the Bros vs. Pros competitions. Keith Tuzzolino will be there. I don't know if his brother will be there, but the twins, they were always there in the past. And I understand that out east, a lot of we say when we're in Nassau County, everything is out east from us. Those guys are hardcore lifters out there, and I have a feeling, Sid, we're going to see some of the best competition we've ever seen.
Well, let me just tell you this much right now, because I play softball, and the reason I bring up this comparison because you say there are hardcore lifters out in Suffolk County. There are hardcore athletes in Suffolk County. I play softball in Nassau County, and that's nothing to laugh about. But when you go into Suffolk County, some of them take this very seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are jacked. I mean, these guys take their sports very seriously. You know, there's a great sporting culture out there. You know, they have Stony Brook University, so you have, you know, a lot of the high schools gravitate towards there. But no, I mean, play them in high school. Like I went to Locust Valley High School in Nassau County. We have exhibitions against Suffolk. They were just bigger, stronger. I don't know if it has to do with the fact that the schools are bigger.
Right.
But I don't know what it is. The athletic development in Suffolk County is on another planet. So it's going to be a treat. But you know what you said out east? Shirley, New York is far out east.
Very far.
I mean, it's about 45, 50 minutes from our studios here in Westbury. And we were, maybe 15 miles away from the city?
Yeah.
So it's a trek. Yeah.
It's out there. Well, I'm looking forward to once again because we're going to see a big Akeem Williams, Jeff Beckham, 2 IFBB pros representing the pro athletes at that event. Akim Williams actually will be in the studio a little later. He's on the train right now coming in. He's hardcore. He still takes the train and bus. I'm getting pointed to. Who's pointing? Well, I have Chris Aceto. We'll have to hold on for 1 second. Erica Guerra will also be in the house as our female IFBB pro. The competition is simple. It's deadlift for reps, bench press for reps. The deadlift, the men will be doing 315, the women will be doing 165. In the bench, the men will be benching 225 for reps, the women 60% of their body weight. Once again, $2,000 in cash prizes being given out. 4-time Mr. Olympia Jay Cutler will be in the house, as well as Luke Rockhold, who will be fighting Chris Weidner, and that's going to be an exciting event in itself. I know a lot of MMA fans and boxing fans will be down there to talk to Luke, and I'm sure he'll be happy to interact with the fans. But right now, we have our very own master technician on the line right now. He is Chris Aceto calling in from Maine. Chris, how's it going over there?
It is going, Dave. It's going.
Very good lighting today. You look HD. Almost.
Yeah. You know, we were in the office studio, and I brought in the lighting people.
Yeah.
And they switched around the lights a little bit, and
like
it's like lit for like Hollywood.
Yeah, well,
it takes the wrinkles off your face.
We're upping our game here in RX Muscle Land. So, Johnny's upped his game. We're working on restructuring the set. Now we got you with great lighting. It's not like you're sitting in the dark anymore.
No, I'm not cutting back. I'm spending the money on the new light bulbs.
Now, on Ask Dave earlier today, people were commenting about your earphones that you wear on the thing, and they were saying that they were from the 1970s. And I said, no, they're not. They're Beats by Farah that you have purchased recently from George's new line of headphones. Isn't that correct?
No, they're the Beats by Farah. He's merging with 50 Cent, who's going down the tubes.
By Dre. Now, I was looking in your background, and I didn't realize we had such a good lower thirds that I actually thought you had Quest protein in the backdrop there. Are you eating Quest protein bars, or is that an illusion?
This is just a bunch of. This is my desk. It's a complete mess. My office is just a complete disaster. But I know where everything is in this office. I mean, it is a complete utter disaster.
That's great. You can't see it, but it's up there. There's Quest bars in your house, and you don't even know it. Now, Chris, the breaking
Brad
news.
Rowe used to send me Quest bars, and he'd send like 60 of them, and we'd eat through them in seriously 4 days.
You eat bars? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I love bars. They go great with coffee.
Well,
Quest bars and coffee are it's a nutritious meal.
Quest protein has got the best.
I don't know if you can build any muscle with just coffee and Quest bars exclusively.
Yes, you can. Chris. Yes, you can.
Well, I can't. I don't train, so I think you have to train.
I think we ought to get you into.
But I'm threatening to train. I'm threatening to be Paul Levroni and make a comeback. If he makes one, I'll do one.
I want to get you in the Decadron. Actually, I think that was a drug, Decadron. Yeah, that's an anti-inflammatory, not Decadurabolin, Decadron. What's the thing we got to get you in?
Decagon.
The Decagon. Excuse me, Chris. Would you fight George Farah in the in the Decagon?
No, I'll debate him. We can have the debates, me versus George on Iron Debate, and then Trump can debate Jeb Bush. See who berates who the worse.
I thought King Kong was sitting in the studio for a minute, but then I realized Akeem Williams just walked in, so probably the same thing. Now, Chris, here's the breaking news that I have to report. Victor Martinez has been let go from muscular development. He is no longer an exclusive athlete. The Y cutback
Express.
moniker has been, I guess you could say, applied again. Now, when Victor, remember you and I said this initially, when Victor gets let go, we know bad times are upon us, you know?
Well, let me tell you the story. The Victor story, how he got the contract, actually. I helped Victor in the 2003 Night of the Champions. You know, he won the Nationals, and he did a couple pro shows and got smolded in them. And I was helping him for the New York Pro Night of the Champions.
Right.
And although I wasn't working for Blackman, I called Steve and said, and I signed this guy. He's going to win the New York Pro, easy, and then he's going to go into the Olympia this year and make the top 5. And Steve signed him within a week.
Really? Well,
2003.
That's a long
And it was
contract.
for good money, too.
12 years he's been on the contract. So, I mean, I
2003,
guess Victor
yeah.
can't complain all the money he's made over the years. But, you know, for a guy who's not cutting back, I mean, Vic, when you cut Victor, you know, that's a big message you're sending, isn't it?
It's the oddness of it is, remember when Jerry was on and I said the worst publisher was Blackman, and I didn't mean that really, but I was very critical of the idea that we're natural, we're not natural, we're this, we're that.
Right.
You know, the idea that it's a strange idea that a bodybuilding magazine cuts Victor Martinez, his training partner John De La Rosa, Evan Centopani, the Boston Massacre, Jose Raymond.
Cody
I mean, the
Montgomery.
list is gigantic.
Cody Montgomery.
And signs Dana Lynn Bailey.
Yeah. What does that
That
mean?
is just a strange move. It is like Trump selling Trump Tower and buying a Howard Johnson's. I'm not critical. It's not critical of Dana Lynn Bailey. It's the direction. Is like, what is the direction?
What do you think? What is this? There's obviously a trend here. What do
It's
you
like
think?
a bank robbery. I know what it is.
Is Blackman running scared, or is he just?
No, it's not running scared. It's a bank robbery. When you get really desperate, you go in to the bank and you say, you give them a little note and you say, you know, I have a gun. Put all the money in a bag. So when you get rid of those, like, you know, heavy hitters, and you sign Dana Lynn Bailey, you are, you know, hoping you're not going to get caught holding up the bank. And you're also hoping that somehow her legions of fans goes to the airport where you can't even find the magazine and says, hi, can I buy a muscular development even though it's not here to be found?
So are you saying that Dana Lynn Bailey's going to wind up on the cover of the next, did he promise her the next 6 issues, you think?
Well, it doesn't matter. It's just a move out of, you know, it's a bank robbery move. It's a move out of fear that nobody's buying the magazine. And
Well, we know no one's buying the magazine already, so.
Well, that's why I said that's my whole point. And you're hoping that all her fans will go into Walmart where you can't find it anyway and buy the magazine. I mean, where do you buy it? You can't even find it.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the Olympia for a minute, Chris, because obviously we're getting closer and closer. The Olympia is coming up. Obviously, you know, the battle is heating up. I saw a video, we had it on the website and on Muscle in the Morning, of Sean Roden guest posing this past weekend and in Florida, and he just looked absolutely the biggest I've ever seen him. Is Sean Roden a serious threat to Phil Heath this year, in your estimation?
I mean, I think he's a threat. Of course, you have the video where Phil, you know, says, like, Sean Roden, you don't see Phil's face. Remember that video? And he says he's not a threat.
Yeah.
That was the quote. He's not a threat.
Yeah. Well, he might be a threat this year, though.
Well, I don't know. We'll see on stage. I just know that he's been third. You know, he's come out of nowhere. He's been third. He's been fourth. He's been third. I think the most dangerous call of an Olympia is the most threatening call is a one-on-one call of Sean Roden versus Phil, because there's too many contrasts between Phil and Kai. Their physiques aren't apples and oranges, but they're just too different. And every time I see them together, I just go back to Phil. And wherever my eyes start with and end with, I usually pick that guy as the winner, and I always end up picking Phil as winner. And maybe if you take Kai out of the equation and you just put Sean next to Phil, who knows? Maybe your eyes will go some of the time to if not a lot of the time, to Sean. And if that's the case, that's a dangerous, Sean Roden.
Well, you got Roden, you got Phil, obviously, Kai, Dennis Wolf, Big Ramy, Dexter Jackson. Those have to be. That has to be your top 6 right there, essentially. Do you think there'll be a mix-up from what we saw last year, or will we see the same results? Do you think?
I think there'll be a mix-up in the prejudging. You know what I mean? Because there's just, let's face it. Wolf is if he's good, he's good. If he's not good, he's not good. I mean, that's for everyone, but particularly him. So he has an issue peaking at the Olympia. So if he's good, he's going to be dangerous. Kai is a wild card. He's never peaked at the Olympia. Phil's only missed one peak in his life, probably. Actually, 2. The first time he did the Arnold, where he was really small and flat, and then this past year. So I just think that from a fan's point of view, it's really exciting. Of course, you'll have the warm up, which is the press conference where Phil's going to hate all the haters. And Kai will probably be like super crazy nice this year.
Do you think they'll like volume out Kai, kind of silence him, or do you think that Kai will still speak his mind?
No, Kai won't say a word.
No, you think he'll be perfectly silent?
He'll say he won't say a word. And somebody will stand up and ask a question to Phil, and he'll get his feathers ruffled just because one person didn't think that he could score all first in the Olympia.
Will William Bonnick stand up and say that he's better than Dexter Jackson?
Yeah, Dex will cold clock him before he even has a chance to stand up. I don't want to debate. Listen, the one I don't want to debate is I can debate Biggie Smalls when he's in the background with George Farrell, but I don't want to debate Dexter Jackson. I'm telling you, dude.
You know what? Better than having a press conference with the athletes, I would rather have a press conference with all the press, wouldn't you? Just get me, you, Chad, Bob, Ciccarello, Sean, Ray, and McGuff, and get every one of us up on a panel and just have the audience ask us questions, because the athletes can't brag about themselves. You know what I mean? It's too hard to say, yeah, I'm going to win the Olympia. Of course you're going to say that, but I want to hear all our opinions. I think that's way more interesting.
Yeah. So I can cut people off I won't let McGuff talk. I'm still mad at you, Peter, for writing that Miami Soft article.
Yeah. Well, even get Blackman up there. Wouldn't you want I want Blackman on the panel, too. Or we could at least get...
Is he even going to the show?
I'm sure. The Olympia? I can't imagine.
Who knows? No, he wasn't at the New York Pro, and it's...
He might be afraid of all the people he's cutting, that they're going to, cut him, That's, literally.
Does he have a press pass?
He could wind up in the desert in a burnt-up car, for all we know. So... he probably does have a press pass, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. I'm sure he does. But it's going to be it's going to be an exciting Olympia, and the fact of the matter is, I don't care what the hell Sean Roden looks like right now. It don't matter. It does not matter. It does not matter. He may miss his peak. He may be too fat. He may be try to come in too hard and be small, and that's the reality of it. And that could happen to every single person in the lineup. And the minute you think that doesn't happen to you, that's going to happen to you. I mean, my fear is every single day is, what if Sean's too fat? Yeah. I think of that Eduardo Correa, because he's a fat guy too. He gets chunky. And I always think maybe he's not going to be trademarked this year. But, so you can't, when you're getting ready for a show like the Olympia, you can't rest on, you got to be getting ready for the show in a quasi state of fear and worry, even though I tell people all the time, don't worry, just put in the work. But, there is some wisdom in worrying, because it's the reality that if you get too complacent. I will say, though, I saw Phil's shoulder training workout, and, dude, he is the true gift because Jose Raymond sends me shoulder... Seriously, Jose sends me shoulder training sessions. Cody Montgomery sends me shoulder training sessions with 150s. You know what I mean? Full range of motion. And Phil can do halves. I call them partials with what seems to be, lightweight. And he looks like Akeem's going to look like in 2 years.
That's a good compliment.
You know what I mean? He just looks... Right. The thing about Phil is the most sensitive Mr. Olympia ever. He's got the, everything ruffles his feathers.
Yeah.
But he's still crazy. He's still... And he looks tiny all the time, except on stage under the lights, he's great.
Yeah.
I will give Phil Heath all the time the fact that he brings a package that I don't care. I've seen him like in street clothes, hotel clothes, near the gym, and every single time I think like, this guy's like not much.
Well, he's not that tall. He's not that tall, Chris. Chris, let me ask you one final question before we let you go. This weekend is Bros vs. Pros 24. Four-time Mr. Olympia Jay Cutler will be out there. If I ask Cutler the same question I just asked you, who will win the 2015
Oh, he'll
Mr.
say
Olympia?
Phil for sure.
You think so?
He has to.
Why?
Because Phil beat him, so he has to protect the. You know what I mean? It's in his interest.
Yeah, I'm going to ask him that. We'll see if you're right.
No, he did. He told me Phil's looking crazy. So
he told me
that weeks ago, and I said, well, we'll see.
Who's Mr. Olympia? In the Facebook pictures and selfie pictures.
I can't even open up the Instagram and Facebook. I never go on Facebook.
You're an Instagram whore now, Chris. I see you on there all the time. You know everything about Instagram. You were telling me to check Dorian's page out. You're always on Instagram now. You're an addict. I know you are.
No,
Who's Mr. Olympia on Instagram?
You know what? I got it.
Ruly Winkler?
Ron Fat Pig Partlow got his pro card this weekend.
I know. Congratulations.
In Canada. And, he told me, 6 weeks out. He still looked like shit 6 weeks out. And I said, don't worry. I said, you look like, but the rate at which you're progressing, you're going to be on the money. And he showed me, emailed me pictures from people from Instagram, this and that. I said, dude, if these guys look like that, I don't know how anyone can be that peeled 6 weeks out.
Filters,
Either one, they're not going to be peeled in 6 weeks.
Johnny knows all about it. It's filters. That's it's like the Rami filtered pictures. Remember?
Who filters? I don't know who filter. I don't filter.
Who's Mr. Olympia on Instagram? Answer the question.
Rich Piano. I don't know. Rich Piano.
There you go. You heard it from Chris, the technician, Aceto. Rich Piano is Mr. Olympia of
Blackman's
Instagram.
going to sign him next.
Yeah. Well, Chris, thanks.
DLB, and RP.
Yeah.
5%.
There you go. Thank you for Skyping in with us, Chris, and giving us your insights. And we'll get obviously, the next time we see you again, it will be on Heavy Muscle Radio on Monday, and we'll have a lot of pros to talk about because the Masters Nationals are coming up this weekend, as well as the Teen Nationals. Andy Hammond's son is going to be in the Teen Nationals, Sam, and I've seen some great pictures and video of him. He looks tremendous. Can he win it? I don't know. But you know what? The Teen Nationals have gotten more and more competitive every year, which is a good sign for the sport of bodybuilding. We won't know who will emerge victorious, obviously, until the weekend's over. Thank God I'm not going because it's a very long weekend. 3 full days this year. And actually, I think the North America is 3 full days. But either way, good luck to all the athletes this weekend. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we are going to talk about Bros vs. Pros 24. We have Akeem Williams in the studio. Stay tuned.
The decadent taste of salted caramel. A thick, creamy texture. with a silky smooth finish. The best tasting shake on earth.
A little help here, Gio.
And a whopping 22 grams of protein in every scoop. Say hello to salted caramel. Another delicious reason to love your protein powder. Visit questnutrition.com.
Hey RX Muscle fans, it's Dave Palumbo. And in case you haven't heard, on Saturday, July 18th at Unique Fitness Extreme in Shirley, New York, Bros vs. Bros 24 is set to take place. Contestants coming out will have a chance to compete in the bench press and deadlift for reps against IFBB pros for a chance to win over $2,000 in cash prizes. Fans in attendance will have a chance to see Species Nutrition's very own BK Beast, Akim Williams. They'll also get to see IFBB pros Jeff Beckham and Tracy Hess as they put their reputation on the line as they rep it out against the meanest, toughest, hardcore bros on the planet. As a special treat, 4-time Mr. Olympia Jay Cutler will be in attendance for a meet and greet along with many other guest celebrities. Be sure to mark it on your calendars and don't miss out on a chance to check out what is guaranteed to be one of the most exciting events of the bodybuilding year exclusively at rxmuscle.com.
I'm Seth Johns, I'm on the ASA national team, and I snowboard hard every day. For complete joint health, I take Arthrolyze Elite. Species Nutrition, what species are you?
IFBB Pro Akeem Williams, what species are you?
The potato chip. It's been an evolution. First, they were fried. Then, they were baked. They've even been popped. But nobody's perfected what's on the inside. Until now. Quest protein chips. 21 grams of protein and only 5 grams of carbs. Chips aren't what they used to be.
This is 4-time Miss Olympia Jay Cutler. You're watching rxmuscle.com.
All right, welcome back from the break, and we are sitting now in the studio with Chris Cope, the co-owner of Unique Fitness Extreme Gym. It's the most complicated name I've ever heard for a gym. Who came up with this name?
It's Steve, my partner, and it's basically unique because we're different than most gyms.
Right.
We're clean. We rack the weights. and it's extreme because we got freaks in there.
Right.
We got guys that are so strong.
Could you just call it Unique Extreme Gym?
No, it's got to be Unique Fitness Extreme because you got to get some soccer moms in there as well too and everything. You know, you have the fitness in there. Somewhere.
Unique Extreme would have been great. Like it flows well and everything. All right, who came up with this idea for this gym? Because this is an enormous gym, over 40,000 square feet. You have bodybuilding, you have weights, you have aerobics, you have cardio equipment, you have a tremendous MMA section which you run actually over there. Whose brainchild was this?
This was Steve's idea, and he came to me.
Steve Smith, the owner.
Steve Smith, yeah, and he didn't quite know how to incorporate the weights and the martial arts, and then I had some ideas, and then we basically put our heads together, and we built this.
Right.
So we've got guys that it's funny because we got bodybuilders competing right next to boxers.
Right.
So you got a boxer hitting the bag going all crazy,
Sure.
and you got a bodybuilder repping like 315 on the bench, and then you got Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys, wrestlers, MMA guys,
and everything's top end in this gym.
Oh yeah, I call it basically, I call it the gym where it's just like, oh my God, you walk through the doors and people just basically go like, and I got to go like this. And I'm like, yeah, it's real. Right. It's a real place. Because it's literally, it just blows them away. They say they've never seen a gym like it.
In the reptile world, I'm into breeding snakes now. There's one of the different color morphs that they sell is called the GHI. Gotta have it. Yeah. And that's like this gym. You got to be there.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It seems like if you're in the area, everyone trains there. Is that the idea?
Yeah, I've yet to see. We're really a diamond in the rough. Because when I tell people Suffolk County, they're like, oh, Suffolk County. But then I'm like, just trust me. Just come check out this gym. And every single time they come here, they're blown away.
Right.
I mean, when Steve's a builder, and when he builds things, I make comparisons to him being like Walt Disney.
Right.
And he takes so much pride in building the best gym that he could possibly build that there was nothing that was left out.
Give me a for instance. What detail would this gym have that, say, another gym might not have?
Oh, I mean, the equipment, we got the best equipment you could possibly think of. Most gyms have 45-pound plates. We've got that, but we also got 100-pound plates.
Right. And most gyms don't want the 100-pound plates.
But we, with our clientele, it's just their beast. Sound system, we got one of the best sound systems you can think of.
How much did the sound system cost?
I don't even want to know. I mean, I was just like,
a lot.
Steve, I'm like, yeah, Steve, here you go. But, yeah, it's amazing. I mean, it's one of these places. It's got that my God factor to it. When you walk in, you really go.
Has he spent a lot of money on lighting and stuff like that so people look good too in the gym? That was an old David Barton trick,
No, these guys, and when I bring people in there, people that aren't into the sport of bodybuilding, because I don't really know much about bodybuilding. My whole thing's martial arts,
sure.
But when people come in there, they're like, these guys are ginormous. They've never seen people that big. Yeah. They've never seen people put up weights that much weight.
Wait, they haven't seen Akeem Williams. Wait till you see him this weekend. What big martial artists train there on a regular basis, or at least have come in there?
We're growing, but Luke Rockhold's gonna be coming for our grand opening.
Sure.
He's gonna be fighting Chris Weidman for the UFC middleweight title.
That's exciting. When is that match?
They don't know quite yet, but the UFC is really hoping that it gets legalized in New York, and they're hoping for it to be the first.
Oh, they want to do it in New York.
In Madison Square Garden.
Why do you think? I mean, you're in mixed martial arts for a long time now. Why did they ban it? I remember when it originally started, they allowed it, and then they made this rule. But then, I mean, they cleaned up their act. They made weight classes and all kinds of safety stuff. Why does New York not allow MMA?
It's legalized in every state but New York. And if we know anything about New York, because I'm originally from California. The New York's completely.
You look like a surfer dude. Yeah.
But New York's very pro-union, and the UFC is independently owned. If New York just really took a look at the statistics and the data, and they allowed the UFC to come to New York, there would be so much money that'd be made off this. I mean,
Madison Square Garden, the Barclays Center, all these places.
Oh, yeah, and the amount that they pull in on the gate. Someone told me the other day, I think it's a $4.3 billion company now.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, they are now with their ties with Fox and everything else. I mean, this is at an whole nother level, and it's the first sport that's global. People in the United States watch it. People in Europe watch it. People in China watch it. Brazil, it's all over the place.
Who's the number one fighter in your estimation in the UFC right now?
The best?
Yeah.
Pound for pound, I'd still have to say Jose Aldo. A lot of people probably won't agree with me, but because McGregor just won the strap and Aldo was injured, but Jose Aldo's at another level.
Really, that good.
And before that, it was Anderson Silva, and Chris Weidman basically dethroned him.
Why do these guys have a much shorter lifespan than, say, a boxer would? Is it just too brutal?
Well, they actually know. The crazy thing is they've done a lot of statistical data, and you take a look at a boxer, how many shots they take to the head and to the body and everything else. Where with MMA, we can submit people, we can ground and pound them.
But the same champion never stays, really in the title spot for very long.
Because what happens with boxing is that with boxing, they build these guys. Once you get to the UFC, it's like we're putting you against the best right out the gate.
Oh, so I got you.
So they don't really build anybody. They give them hard fights right out the gate.
So every fight is a hard fight usually.
Yeah, that's what Dana White's all about, and he's all about giving people what they want to see. The best fight they could possibly think of.
Interesting. All right. Well, Luke Rockhold will be at the Unique Fitness Extreme Gym this Saturday. Now, I want to just give the address. It's 78 McGraw Street in Shirley, New York. The doors, I believe, open at 11 a.m. And I believe Bros vs. Pros will probably start about 12 noon. But, we're going to be doing weigh-ins and setting up and everything and pre-interviews. Jay Cutler will be there 11 a.m. So, guys, stop down. There could be, do you guys have a big parking lot?
Oh, yeah, it's huge.
I hope you do.
Yeah,
all right,
it's huge. It's like a Disneyland parking lot.
Oh, it is. Oh, it's crazy. All right. Well, there'll be plenty of places to park. It's free to come. Enjoy yourself. We're going to have sampling and all kinds of crazy stuff going on. And if I know Steve Smith very well, it's going to be a bonanza of an event. Now, we also have the BK Beast himself here, species nutrition athlete, Akeem Williams, who just came off 2 third-place finishes in his pro shows this year. Akeem, I know this has to be probably your greatest year yet. A lot of people are talking about you as the next big thing. That has to make you feel pretty good inside, huh?
It definitely does, man. I mean, I had a really good run this year. We started off with Dallas, came in third there. Then we went to Chicago, came in third also. So we're going to keep pushing and go to Tampa, hopefully get the Olympia qualifications and take it from there.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing about Akeem is that he doesn't give up easy. You're just like, oh, whatever. If I got to keep dieting, I'll diet for the next year if I have to. But because you don't really like food that much. You actually it seems like you grow better almost when you're dieting for show.
Yeah, I made a comment on Instagram today about basically I actually get bigger while I diet, which is I think Kevin Levrone was the same way.
Yeah, but that's because Levrone didn't train in the offseason. Akeem came in here and told me, I said, how much do you weigh right now? He's like 275. Now, he was 255 on stage. I'm like, that's way too big. And you're like, I'm growing. And you know what the truth is? He probably is. That's what a freak this guy is. Now, what's this from? This looks like you're lifting 135 pounds here. What is that, 750 pounds?
Yeah, that was actually yesterday at the gym. I haven't deadlifted because
put that back on again, Johnny. He has no knee wraps. He's got no belt. You're a freak.
It's a funny story. Yesterday I went to the gym. I haven't deadlifted since I started to prep for Dallas because.
Yeah, he's like stunned. Yeah,
because I wanted to try something different for my back. I usually deadlift like throughout all my prep.
Right.
So I decided to do a lot more heavy rolls. So if you follow me on Instagram, you saw me doing like 5 plates for bent over rolls and stuff like that. And this time around, I was like, you know what? Let me try something different. Cut out the deadlift, just do more rolls and see what happens. But I realized Bros vs. Pro was coming up. I've always known to pull 8 plates and stuff like that. So I walked in the gym yesterday and there was a guy deadlifting, and he was up to 4 plates and a quarter.
So you started there, probably.
So I actually started there.
No warm up, nothing. You just started with.
So I just walked in. I asked him if he's still deadlifting. He said, "Yeah." I was like, "You want me? Mind if I jump in?" So he's like, "You want me to take the weights off?" I was like, "Nah, I'll start off there."
That's like picking up a ladder for Akeem. Like I go into the warehouse, pick up a ladder. Like that's his warm up at the 400 pounds. You just have ridiculous strength. I mean, and you always have. Even when you were smaller, when you didn't look like you could lift that much, you were able to lift that much. Obviously, your strength has gone up quite a bit. Now, IFBB Pro Jeff Beckham will be here also at Bros vs. Pros, and he told me he's going to take you down a notch. Will he beat you in the 1 rep max?
I don't think so. From what I did yesterday with that 7 plates, I don't see it happening.
He can take you out.
Nah.
I heard he's been training hard though in the gym.
I don't see it happening.
All right, well. Beckham was supposed to be here tonight too. He told me his car broke down, so maybe he's already trying to build up excuses for this weekend. I hope not, Jeff. I hope you show up because I love the last event we always do of the day is the 1 rep max for deadlift, and it's very exciting because everyone's tired and everything like that from the whole day of lifting. But the excitement is always down to the wire, and it's usually you with someone else, And sometimes you come out ahead, sometimes you don't. But the last couple events you have won.
Yeah, I mean. Plus, if Jeff beat me, I got an excuse. I'm 3 weeks out from Tampa, so.
Bodybuilders are great. They always got an excuse for everything. Always got an excuse. Roll that sleeve up. Let's see that. That arm has got to be like 30 inches by. Look at the size of that thing. Oh my god.
See that fibers in there?
You look pretty good, but I'm going to make him take his shirt off later because I want to see what he looks like from behind. The back is what I want to see. Although, you know what? You probably did gain 20 pounds from deadlifting that one workout, knowing you, with your genetics.
Probably, man. I felt I had a really good workout yesterday. You know, I'm in New Jersey now, so found a really nice gym called Get Fit. You know, have a lot of
Who
great
owns
equipment.
that gym?
I have no idea, but that's the same gym Craig Richardson trains out of, and Rodney Roller.
Okay.
They also train at that gym. So
I think Steve Smith ought to get Akeem and maybe just buy him a house out in Shirley and just have him be like the mascot of the gym there, right?
So what's your max, anyways? That was ridiculous.
In terms of deadlift, I've never really maxed out.
I've seen him do 9 plates on each side of the deadlift
This guy's
for
like
reps.
Superman.
Yeah. Crazy. The bent over rows to me are the most impressive thing. I don't know if you can pull up that video, Johnny, but he bend over rows, 5 plates on each side like it's like a joke. Most people can't deadlift that, and you're bent rowing it. What gave you the audacity to even try that much weight?
A couple of times, you know, I go to the gym. You know, I'm doing 4 plates. You know, it
What's
felt
the
easy.
squat? Is that 7 plates or 6? You're doing it like it's like 135 warm-up. I mean, you don't even shake. Doesn't your body feel traumatized by holding that much weight on your back?
Not really, man. I think most of the times it's all about, you know, form and, you know, basically make sure everything is stabilized.
No, I know you have good form, but it must be so light for you because when I would walk out with 7 plates, I felt like I was going to be crushed with the weight. Even though I was 300 pounds and I was strong and I could do it, it was just hard to move with the weight. Unbelievable.
Strength is always like, in terms of deadlift and squats, that's just come natural to me, you know.
Well, you're still young. Wait till you hit 40.
Mm-hmm.
All this weight that you think is no big deal, you'll be like crippled. Like Ronnie
I've been
Coleman.
watching Ronnie Coleman surgery.
Ronnie will be in a wheelchair by then, but you'll be going into surgery like all the rest of us. But you know what? For now, cash in on it.
Hopefully, I got titanium bones.
That's right. You're like Wolverine.
Yeah.
They got the adamantite in his bones. Well, Akeem, I know you love to lift, and you know what? The funny thing is, a lot of bodybuilders, once they hit the elite level where you're at now, would be afraid to start doing this type of lifting. But you're in a sense, you are like Ronnie Coleman. You believe in pushing your body, and that's why you keep making gains every single year.
I had a really interesting conversation out in Chicago with Bob Ciccarello. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, he made a lot of sense with what he was telling me in terms of, like, I have a lot of size. I'm very strong. And he was basically telling me, like, just be careful, you know. I don't have to do all the crazy stuff I've been doing because I've already built a physique, you know. So
what these guys fail to realize is that for you, this weight is not heavy. It's not. You're really not putting it on the line. Like some guys say, "Oh, I got to say 10 Hail Marys. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this." But for you, this weight is not heavy, right?
No.
Yeah. So it's not like you're really pushing yourself to. Like if you put 8 plates on the squat, that might be pushing yourself.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's so amazing about the whole thing.
But I mean, he made a lot of points.
That's crazy. Look at that. Johnny, I'm not as impressed with that as I am with his squats and his deadlift because these are kind of like that's a dangerous machine. I don't like that machine anyway because I don't like anything over my head. Like, it's like a guillotine, you know. God forbid the thing falls, you're done. But I'm more impressed with your bent over rows, your deadlifts. I mean, and you know what? You say you're not that strong, but you have a very strong bench press too.
I mean, my chest speaks for itself. My most muscular has gotten really popular, you know?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely has. Chris Aceto calls you the Victor Richards of 2015.
I've been getting that a lot, too, you know?
And it's ironic that, you know, I think I'm the one who told you originally to do the victory pose when you put the hands up. And this is before you were even that big. Uh-huh. And nowadays, you hit the victory pose and it's like
better.
Like Sergio Oliva hitting the pose.
It's getting better.
Yeah, you're getting bigger and bigger at doing it. Uh-huh. But anyway, once again, we respect that you are going to be at Bros vs. Pros, which is 1 week after your it's 1 week before your show, right?
No, it's I'm 3 weeks out from Tampa now.
So it's 2 weeks before your show.
2 weeks out, yeah.
But only Akim Williams put it on the line like that, and obviously to help promote the sport and the lifting. And I know all the fans love to see you out there. Maybe we can get you to do a pose down with Jay Cutler. I don't think Jay Cutler would take a shirt off next to Akim Williams. I wouldn't anymore, but that's for sure. What? Talk to me about this. Let's assume you do Tampa and you don't win, okay? But you got enough, you know. But you have enough points to possibly go to the Olympia. Would you actually try to do another show, or is that it?
Well, I went a step ahead and I actually ordered 2 contracts today. Okay. One for Tampa and one for Atlantic City.
Oh, okay, just in case.
Exactly.
Well, Atlantic City is good because you can drive there, so that's easy. It won't cost me as much money. Hopefully, you don't need to do it, but it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, I mean, I have like around, I think, 7 points right now with the 2 third-place finish.
Yeah.
If I could go to Tampa and at least place top 3 again, that would put me in the mix.
Yeah, you should have enough points. So
I don't care if I have to win, even if I don't win a show. I mean, a lot of guys, they probably spend their whole career and they probably don't even make it to Mr. Olympia. But I figured, keep getting better every show. Even if I have to go in on points, I just do my homework and show up. You never know.
What do you think about these guys that qualify for the Olympia and then don't go, like Justin Compton? Is that a mistake for him?
I believe so. You put in all that work, you get the qualification. There's a lot of people out there that actually really want to go, and
they can't.
Even if you're not going to win, you do it for the fans.
Absolutely.
So,
well, Akeem's got a very loyal fan base for certain. Bros vs. Pros 24 this coming weekend. 4-time Mr. Olympia Jay Cutler will be there. It will start Saturday, 11 a.m. at Unique Fitness Extreme Gym in Shirley, New York. That is on 78 McGraw Street. Guys, it's free to enter. It's free to come. $2,000 in cash prizes up for grabs. Can you beat the BK Beast? You got a deadlift. You got a bench press for reps against him. 225 on the bench, 315 deadlifts. And Erica Guerra will be there representing the women's physique pros. And she will be having to bench press 60% of her body weight, deadlift 165. Guys, don't miss it. This coming weekend, Saturday at 11 a.m. For now, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we have the one and only Gabe Moen.
The decadent taste of salted caramel. A thick, creamy texture with a silky, smooth finish. The best tasting shake on earth.
A little help here, Gio.
And a whopping 22 grams of protein in every scoop. Say hello to salted caramel. Another delicious reason to love your protein powder. Visit questnutrition.com.
Hey RX Muscle fans, it's Dave Palumbo. And in case you haven't heard, on Saturday, July 18th at Unique Fitness Extreme in Shirley, New York, Bros vs. Bros 24 is set to take place. Contestants coming out will have a chance to compete in the bench press and deadlift for reps against IFBB pros for a chance to win over $2,000 in cash prizes. Fans in attendance will have a chance to see Species Nutrition's very own BK Beast, Akim Williams. They'll also get to see IFBB pros Jeff Beckham and Tracy Hess as they put their reputation on the line as they rep it out against the meanest, toughest, hardcore pros on the planet. As a special treat, 4-time Mr. Olympia Jay Cutler will be in attendance for a meet and greet along with many other guest celebrities. Be sure to mark it on your calendars and don't miss out on a chance to check out what is guaranteed to be one of the most exciting events of the bodybuilding year exclusively at rxmuscle.com.
I'm Seth Johns, I'm on the ASA national team, and I snowboard hard every day. For complete joint health, I take Arthrolyze Elite. Species Nutrition, what species are you?
IFBB for Akim Williams. What species are you?
The potato chip. It's been an evolution. First, they were fried. Then, they were baked. They've even been popped. But nobody's perfected what's on the inside. Until now. Quest protein chips. 21 grams of protein and only 5 grams of carbs. Chips aren't what they used to be.
This is four-time Miss Olympia Jay Cutler. You're watching RxMuscle.com.
All right, welcome back from the break, and we were just talking about bros versus pros, and we have Akeem Williams in the studio on his phone texting. And, you know, the USA Championships is coming up in 2 weeks. It's one of the biggest shows of the year. We get given out a lot of pro cards there. John Lindsay's been running this show successfully for year after year after year. I mean, I remember my first USA Championships was in 1995 when they didn't even have it in Vegas yet. It was still in Denver, Colorado. And Phil Hernan won that year. Craig Titus threw his trophy in disgust, and that was my first national show and my first exposure to it. The next year it went to Vegas, or no, I think it went to actually Santa Monica, then it went to Vegas. But John Lindsay's been doing this show for year after year, and it's gotten bigger and bigger, and there's probably close to 1,000 people going to be in the event this year. One of the perennial super heavyweight guys that it's always in the class, you know, someone I worked with in the past, someone I know Chris Aceto's worked with, and who's just been knocking on the door. He's a taller bodybuilder, but we always said it, when this guy puts it all together, he's going to be dangerous, and this may be his year. The guy I'm talking about, Gabe Moen, who for the last couple of years has been in that top 10, just knocking on that door. I think he's going to put it all together this year. He is the guy I call Gabe, the most likely to be on the Tonight Show Moen. This is a guy who you would think he's Mr. Olympia already. He's got the talk down. He's got the look down. We just got to give him the trophy. It's my pleasure to welcome to the show tonight. Gabe, how's it going over there?
How you doing, Dave? Thanks for having me on, man.
No problem. I always say, Chris Aceto, and I always say that you are the perennial like bodybuilding stereotype. I look at you and I say, that could be Mr. Olympia. If no one knew who you were, they would say that could very well be Mr. Olympia. You got the look down, you got you're a good looking guy, you got the hairdo, the hat, all the clothing paraphernalia, you got the physique, obviously. We want to see you win the USA already. Is this the year?
Well, I think it is. First of all, thanks for the compliment. That's huge, especially coming from you who's been in the industry as long as you have. I mean, and from Mr. Chris Aceto, the technician, the real technician. I've had a blast, with this prep. And Tad, the diet coach, has been helping me out. And this has actually been the most confident I've been out of all my preps in the past. I think my favorite prep to date was before this was 2012 with Chris Aceto. That was the best look I brought to stage to date to then. So we're hoping to top that just with more time under my belt and a little more knowledge. So we know that it's going to take my body a little bit longer to fill out, and we're doing all the necessary precautions and taking all the necessary steps to make it happen. So.
Well, Gabe, you're a taller bodybuilder, and I was always frustrated. I thought I was a short bodybuilder, but I was a taller one at 5'10", 5'10 and a half, and it took me a lot longer to fill my body out. I had to be 300 and then diet down from that before I looked big on stage. Where some guys, they train 2 years, 3 years, they weigh 200 pounds on stage and they look enormous. You're even taller. You're almost 6'2", and for you to fill your frame out, you got to be almost 300 on stage, which is obviously going to take time to build. How did you stay so focused despite some poor placings earlier in your career at the national level? And how did you keep the hunger in your heart for bodybuilding?
Well, it would have been easy, to throw in the towel. And I'm from Nebraska, and I played football out there, and I learned a lot of my hard work ethic, and playing organized sports from them. And the one thing that I think that's helped me and hurt me both in my career has been if I'm working hard and it's not working, I work harder. And Ron Partlow and I have had long discussions about this and about how it's kind of the difference between pulling a little speedboat into dock versus a big Titanic ship. You got to back off the throttle a little bit early for us bigger guys in order for us to fill out properly. And my hunger for the sport has been, I said from the very beginning, I'm in this to win this. I'm not in this for any other reason. I didn't get into this to the half-ass it. I didn't get in it to, you know what I mean? I didn't care what it was going to take. I'm in it to win it. So
now you got married recently, so I want to congratulate you on that. And how's the wife? Is she supportive of the bodybuilding? Because, if you're not with someone who understands what you're going through, it makes it very difficult in relationships.
Yeah, no, she's incredible. I lucked out, and I broke the Jay Cutler rule. I married a figure competitor, an IFBB pro figure competitor. Jay always told me it'd never work with a competitor, but she was actually a career girl first, and she actually was the head of the VA hospital in Seattle, and she was the head of all the administration, and what was the other thing? She did a lot of the she had a long title. Let's just put it like that. She was a boss lady. And she just recently, after we got married, was going to go back to the hospital and switch jobs and go to multi-care, and decided that she didn't want to do that anymore, that she wanted to come help me run the gym at G Standard Gym Tacoma. And we're working on franchising right now. We've got a couple of locations that are getting ready to pop up, but I just can't talk about the location or who yet, but it's pretty exciting. She's very supportive.
The gym again, Gabe?
The Gym Standard, G Standard Gym.
Okay. Now, where is that located?
It's in Tacoma, Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Just about 40 minutes south of Seattle.
Is that the gym that you originally started with what's his name? With Stan?
With Stan. Yeah. It originally started out as Flex Wheeler Fitness, and that was basically what happened is about 10 days prior to Stan opening up, he called me and asked me if I'd help him come manage it and run it. And I said, absolutely. And then, a year later, I, in his eyes, had earned the 50% sweat equity, and he needed to move to Vegas for his folks. And he left 50% of the gym to me, ownership. I signed the contract, and then a year later, he offered me made me an offer I couldn't refuse to pay off the rest of the gym, and that's what I did. So I purchased their other 50% from Stan, and now we switched the name and rebranded it because I just felt like it was more conducive to consolidate everything instead of having, Flex gear and then, my brand gear. That just didn't make any sense. So I said, let's just brand it after me. And, that's how it came about.
Well, congratulations on that, because, becoming a gym owner is no easy task, but I know you're passionate about that as well. I'm sure you pretty much live in the gym at this point.
I was there, before Stan got there every day, and then I'd stay late every day after he'd leave. And, I've gotten the gym down to where I know how it runs now, and now my wife has stepped in to help out while I'm down on my face. During these last few weeks, it gets tough. So she's helped me pick up the slack and keep everything tight, because the last couple of years that I've prepped, the gym has suffered. During that last 4 weeks. And it usually takes me a while to get it back up on its feet after I'm done with my show. So I didn't want to have to deal with that lag this time. So she's really been a huge help.
What do you think you'll be weighing on stage this year at the USA?
Boy, it's anybody's guess. I'll tell you, right now I weighed in at 294 this morning, and I've never seen myself this lean before. I can honestly say that. And it's exciting. I would say probably in the low 290s.
It's amazing,
because I still got to carb up, and all that. And after we pull water, I suppose there might be a chance I might be under 290, but I don't really know.
Give us a quick bicep pose there before we let you go. Give us a little preview.
I get it. We got to get the angle on it, right?
There you go. You got to pull the flex wheeler. You got to come a little forward to the camera, and really arch that arm. Gabe, good luck to you at the USA. I'm rooting for you. I hope you go home with that pro card. I know you've been trying for a number of years now. I think I've seen pictures of you. This is probably the best you've ever looked, and it couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Good luck.
Thank you very much, Dave. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, that was Big Gabe Moen. Getting ready for that USA Championships. Akeem, you know how that is. A lot of pressure when you're at the top of the heap, so to speak, and people expect a lot from you. How did you deal with the pressure when you were trying to turn pro and people are like, when is he going to get his pro card already? Because it does get to be a little bit of pressure. There's no pressure on you now as a pro because you're kind of still like a rookie, but when you were at the top of the amateur level, how did you deal with that mentally?
I mean, it was different for me because I never went into the sport like pro card chasing.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to compete and go into the national level. Every time I get beat, I wanted to go back and actually compete against the guys who beat me. Like right now, me and Kevin Jordan, we're really cool, and we have a little rival going on,
Yeah.
So
what about Lockett? You beat Lockett in North America.
That's true too. We have a little rival going on too.
Yeah.
So it was never about a pro card for me. I just like competing, and I like going back and kind of like getting my revenge. Going back to the gym, doing my homework, and coming back and competing again. I remember Gabe in 2012, I think it was, because that's when I actually made the jump from heavyweight to super heavyweight.
I was horrified.
Yeah, you remember?
I couldn't believe why. How come this guy can't make heavyweight? You were 10 pounds over.
And that's the same thing that's happening now. You see, remember now.
All right, well, I'll take a look at you. We'll make a decision.
So I remember looking at him, and I was just like, wow, this guy's a freak.
Yeah,
he was really big.
Yeah,
but like I said, it was never about like pro card chasing. I just wanted to compete, and if it so happened that I got a pro card, it happened. So going to the nationals, I didn't really have that much pressure on me. Like even when I went to North Americans and turned pro, I went in there not even like expecting anything.
Yeah.
I just did my homework. We did our homework, and we just brought a package.
Well, that was a very mature, I guess you could say, outlook on the way it is. Not everyone's like that. You're kind of a mellow guy, though. I think it goes back to your island heritage, right? No one gets too upset on the islands,
Well, like I said, man, this sport is very, very subjective in terms of, you could go to one show and look amazing and you get last call out.
Yeah.
And you could go to another show and the judges love you. So I never take it too serious. Of course we all want to win. We compete to win, but I feel like as long as you do your homework and you're satisfied with the way you look and basically you do everything that's possible to get you in that winning circle, that's all that matters,
Well, that's a very mature attitude. Like I said, once again, Bros vs. Pros 24 coming up this Saturday. Chris Cope, let me ask you one more question about the gym. People, want to join a gym that has everything for them. This gym seems to have everything you could possibly want. How does memberships work there? Because I know nowadays people are giving away these memberships for free, $10 a month, Planet Fitness, these horrible gyms. How do you guys structure your membership fees?
No, I get that a lot, and they say, I work out at Planet Fitness, and what do you pay a month? Oh, $9, $10. Well, how often you go? I haven't been yet.
Right.
How long you been a member there? 2 years. It's like, well, it's just a waste of money.
Sure.
We have memberships that start at $34.99.
Mm-hmm.
I can guarantee you this: we are one of the nicest gyms that you'll ever encounter.
What if you want to do like MMA and boxing? Is that a bigger membership?
If you want to do boxing, kickboxing, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, use all the ways to be a VIP member. We call it the Extreme Membership at our gym.
Okay.
It's $100.
A month?
$100 a month gives you everything, and we're cheaper than anybody. You go to most Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu schools, boxing schools, $160.
So you get instruction for that price too?
From world-class champions.
Wow, I didn't
Joe
know
Thompson,
that.
Professor Joe, he is a two-time world champion.
How does that work? Do you go to classes or do you go to like
classes.
individual stuff?
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu classes will have about 10 to 20 people in a class. We have boxing, Christian Vasquez, two-time Golden Glove champion, teaching boxing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll send Sid there.
Oh, yeah. Who's Sid?
El Sid over there.
Oh, El Sid. Okay.
We got to wait till Ramadan's over there. We got no energy right now.
Vicious, huh?
Yeah.
No, but we are the nicest in the area, in my opinion. And our goal is to make this, make this an amazing gym and make this world renowned for being one of the best out there.
Well, I'm looking super forward to seeing Unique Fitness Extreme Gym this weekend at 11 a.m. at Saturday, July 18th, and it's on 78 McGraw Street in Shirley, New York. Remember, 4-time Mr. Olympia Jay Cutler will be there. Luke Rockhold, MMA champion, will be there, and Bros vs. Pros 24 will be there. We will see you this weekend. Remember, if you can't make it, you can watch it live on rxmuscle.com. To everyone out there in the audience, good night.
This is Rich Piana, and you're watching RXMuscle.com.
Hey RX Muscle fans, it's Dave Palumbo, and in case you haven't heard, on Saturday, July 18th at Unique Fitness Extreme in Shirley, New York, Bros vs. Bros 24 is set to take place. Contestants coming out will have a chance to compete in the bench press and deadlift for reps against IFBB pros for a chance to win over $2,000 in cash prizes. Fans in attendance will have a chance to see Species Nutrition's very own BK Beast, Akim Williams. They'll also get to see IFBB pros Jeff Beckham and Tracy Hess as they put their reputation on the line as they rep it out against the meanest, toughest, hardcore bros on the planet. As a special treat, 4-time Mr. Olympia Jay Cutler will be in attendance for a meet and greet along with many other guest celebrities. Be sure to mark it on your calendars and don't miss out on a chance to check out what is guaranteed to be one of the most exciting events of the bodybuilding year, exclusively at RXMuscle.com.
This is 4-time Miss Olympia Jay Cutler. You're watching RXMuscle.com.